You might have always wanted to create high quality Blender animations, but mastering Blender takes a lot of time. However, we are in the age of AI, and as you may know by now, every field is speeding up. AI animations are no different. And so in this video, not only am I going to show you how to use Claude Code to control Blender for us, but I'm also going to show you how to actually make these Blender animations 10 times better by using an AI video model, Seedance 2.0. So in about 15 minutes or so, you're literally going to become an AI animations expert. And as you can see, this is the kind of results that we're going to get. All we need is a super simple scene in Blender, which we can create using AI and then turn it into a very nice video with Seedance 2.0. Now, you might be wondering, why can't I just use Seedance 2.0? Why do I even need Blender in the first place? Because Seedance is already extremely good. Well, if you just prompt Seedance, it may create a beautiful shot, but the camera path, object positions, timing, scale, and motion can drift because the model is inventing everything at once. And so by using Blender, we're essentially going to give Seedance a motion blueprint. What this means is that Seedance will understand where the camera moves, it'll understand where every object is, how fast things happen, what should stay consistent frame to frame, and what physics/layout should roughly obey. Here's another really good example. Super simple box shapes and squares just moving, turning into this extremely nice detailed scene with the same physics, the same camera motion, everything that we wanted. And since we're using Blender, we also have a lot more customization. Since people have been creating insane stuff inside of Blender manually by hand for years now. That's all going to change today. But look, as you might know by now, building stuff manually is going down because AI related job losses are accelerating. And just like with any other technology, there's not much you can do to stop it. So do you want to be a part of this, or do you want to just sit on the sidelines and watch? I know my choice. But that's enough talking. Let me actually show you how to squeeze these models to their full potential. So firstly, what we need to do is actually connect Blender to Claude Code. And I already made a video explaining exactly how to do this. And during that video, I also created this step-by-step guide completely for free, which you can just get first link down below. But all we need to do is basically go to the GitHub for the Blender MCP, copy the link, go into Claude Code, send the link, and just say something like, set up the Blender MCP, ensure it's connected by testing it. And it's a super simple prompt, as you can see. Most of it is going to be set up for you, and there's a few small tweaks that you might need to do in settings, which I have laid out right here. So once you send that prompt off, what you need to do is actually test if it works. Open up Blender and connect to it via the Blender MCP. Do a quick test to ensure that everything works. I'm just going to send that off. And as you can see, I'm using Fable 5 because it literally dropped like 1 hour ago. So it's kind of perfect timing. So we'll also get to see how good this model actually is at controlling Blender MCP. Okay, as you can see, Blender opened up. I didn't even do anything. Let's go back to Claude Code. It did open up Blender and now it's running a quick test. Okay, and it's saying start the Blender MCP add-ons server instead of Blender. So this is something you would need to do manually, but if we just enable computer use, which obviously allows Claude to actually use my computer, I'm going to enable that and just press continue. So now what it's doing is it's actually doing the steps to turn on the Blender MCP server for me. And as you can see, everything works. Blender is open and the MCP connection is verified successful. So obviously here we are inside of Blender. If we do want to tweak something ourselves, we can obviously do that. But firstly, I want to just do a very basic prompt. So I'm going to go back into Claude Code and I'm going to say, great, I need you to create a scene, which is going to be a turtle on the floor, slowly moving towards the ocean with an eagle hovering over it, flying around it in circles as the turtle is moving. Now, what's important is this should be extremely basic. So I'm gonna basically send that off for now. Now be wary that this might take a little bit of time to actually generate. So in the meantime, I'm gonna show you some cool websites that you can actually use. This one, Mixamo, made by Adobe or partnered with Adobe, I don't know, is a website that allows you to basically add a bunch of different animations to your subjects. So now you might be able to see why this is going to be so powerful. Here we have a wide range of animations that we can use for a very wide range of tasks, which we can then import into Blender, which by the way, you can see it's already cooking something. And after we import these animations into Blender, we're going to just turn them into such a nice scene. But yeah, let me not get too ahead of myself right now. Let's see what's going on here. So this looks really good. I know this might look bad right now. You might be like, this is terrible. But just remember, this is the whole point, is to create a super simple animation and just focus on the camera, the movement, and the physics, which as you can see, that was done a lot faster than I thought, to be honest. So let's go back into Blender, let's play it. Okay, this looks good. Let's see the camera. Nice, so it's a still shot. We don't have any camera movement. Of course, we can add some camera movement. I'll show you how to do that in a second. Okay, but this looks good. Forget all the like small tweaks, small details, etc., like the camera movement and all this kind of stuff. For now, I want to just show you what I would do now to render this scene and then upload it to Seedance. How does this process work? By the way, if you do enjoy my content and you want to see more AI educational videos in your For You page, make sure to subscribe to the channel because 90% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel and it helps out way more than you think. If you did subscribe, Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. So what we need to do now is obviously render this. So let's just go up here, top left to render animation, and it's going to start rendering the result. So now that the animation is actually rendered, I'm going to drop in the folder name and say, render this now as an animation and make sure that it renders to this folder. Because I basically just want to see how much access this actually has. I presume it's going to be able to do it. And if it does do this correctly, you literally have no excuse not to do this, because even something simple like using Claude Code to render your animation is now possible. Okay, so now it's saying that the render is actually running. So it's going to do that as a background task and it's going to notify us when it finishes. So in the meantime, let me just show you actually real quick what you actually do need to understand about Blender. So obviously I'm looking around the scene. You might be wondering, how am I doing this? With my mouse, I look where I want to point. And then when I click on the scroll wheel button, when I click down on it as a third button on my mouse, it essentially acts as an anchor so that you can kind of move your camera in and out. If you scroll in, you can zoom in on an object and zoom out. That's kind of all you need to know so that you can look around your scene. I really want to keep this as simple as possible, because as I was making this video, I realized I'm basically making a Blender tutorial here. And this isn't really what my channel is about. This is not what I'm here to show. I'm here to show you how to use AI as a video editor. So that's why I'm going so hard on this, because I don't see anyone else really covering the video editing aspect side of things for AI. So if you do want to learn Blender, and I do encourage it because you will have more granular control, maybe this turtle is too fat or too small or too big, or the camera is moving in a weird way, and instead of prompting and using tokens, you might want to just do this tweak manually. That's fine. And that's why you can just grab this all on screen for free. You can screenshot it, save it if you want. But essentially, I'm just trying to get the point across that you can do so much more than you think, oh, the render's done, just by using Claude Code and agents to actually do everything for us. Even stuff like rendering a video, which I know you could do manually inside Blender, obviously. So as you see here, I have the MP4. Let's open it. Okay, perfect. This is actually good. I ran into an issue because it didn't render it how I wanted. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screenshot this and say, go back into Claude Code and say, okay, the problem is that you're not understanding the context of what I'm trying to achieve. The render you did is all in white and it's super hard to see the turtle, the eagle, and the floor. What you need to do is ensure that it renders correctly. By the way, I'm using Super Whisper to voice prompt, so you can use the same if you want. But again, I'm not really optimizing these prompts. I'm just saying exactly what it is that is happening. I took a screenshot of the error, which is good that it happened, and I just spoke exactly what I needed to change. Okay, as you can see, it's still finishing, but I already have the video, so if I play it, now I can actually see the video. So obviously, super simple scene, no camera movement yet, nothing super exciting, but we have a 10-second video. That's all I wanted. So now what we need to do is just turn this video into a much nicer looking scene. So what we need first is an image in the style that we actually want to have created. So again, I'm just going to obviously go back to Claude Code, say, okay, now take a screenshot of the first frame of the video and again, upload it to the same folder we uploaded the rendered video. So we have our first image and obviously the turtle is a bit cropped. It's fine. What I'm going to do is just paste that into Nano Banana Pro. I'm using Higgs field. You can use whatever you want. Okay, so now that we have our image, it's important that we use a cool style. So I'm just going to copy this image from Midjourney. Again, I'm just focused on the style because I think it looks nice. I'm going to paste it into the prompt box here. Then I'm going to say, change the style of, and then what we can do is just add image 1 to the style of, and then once again, add image 2. Keep all the motion, all the characters, etc. in place, but just change the style. Okay, I'm going to use GPT images 2, send that off. And I'm also just going to use Nano Banana Pro, send that off. I'm using this 16:9 and I'm doing 4 batches. And okay, I kind of like this image. This looks really cool. This kind of looks more like a desert than a beach. But again, if I wanted to, I could just change the image. That's not what this video is about. This video is not about creating the best images possible. This is more so about Seedance and Blender. So I'm going to save this. And what we can do then is just upload the video that we generated from Claude and upload the image from Claude. Check eligibility because Seedance is pretty restricted for some reason. And once it's ready, we can just click on both of them and import them. Now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to say, use the camera and video from, but just change the style so that it looks like it's in the style of, and then we're going to do add image 2, and we are just going to send it off. Okay, so we have our video. Let's check it out. Nice, okay. Obviously, this is just the beginning. This is super simple. The concept is there though. This is what we wanted. We wanted to change the texture, to change the lighting, but we wanted to keep the animation of the actual Blender video. So now let's actually do something way more crazy and let's add more camera movement and actually try to make a way better looking scene than this, because this is super basic, but this just shows you that the concept is there. And I'm going to say something like, okay, this was good. Now I want you to create a completely new project. In this new project, I want to basically do a ball rolling down a hill and jumping above big gaps, avoiding obstacles like trees and cars and roads and animals, whilst the camera is moving fast, following our main subject, which is the ball, which also moves closer and further from our main subject throughout this scene. And now I'm going on Midjourney because I want to basically find a nice style that I can use for this. So this is my Midjourney trick, and I also have a bunch of my Midjourney favorite styles in the editing evolution, which is basically where I teach video editors how to actually use all these different AI tools, and not just video editors, but just in general, if you're interested in Blender, AI motion graphics, AI animations, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be second link below. But regardless, I have a bunch of styles already here, so I'm just going to find one that I like. And I kind of like this style, this kind of glowing blue orb. So this is an interesting one. So I'm going to save it. And okay, Claude generated something, but as you can see, it's not looking that well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of all this, send it to Claude. Same thing with the ball, because as you can see, the ball isn't really jumping over anything. And I'm just going to say the physics are really broken right now. The ball is basically floating in midair and it makes zero sense. Okay, the camera work is pretty good though. I do like this camera a lot more. It's going in, it's going out, it's following the ball. So the camera is there, but obviously the physics are not. Same thing goes for some of the trees. They're basically floating in midair. Take a look at the screenshots and fix this. So we're going to send that off. Okay, and Claude is done. And surprisingly, it is actually much faster than I thought. This is really quick at creating these edits for me. And if we now go into Blender, you can see the physics now work. This actually does make sense. This is a road, by the way. I thought this was another gap, but this is a road. So it goes over here to the edge, makes it jump right on the edge, actually lands, and it continues to go. Nice camera pans, nice movement. Looks like a good scene. So once again, this looks good. Render this as a video. Make sure I actually see the video and so that it's not white like the last one. And I actually already done the render before sending the prompt. This is actually sick. I remembered that I already wanted the video rendered, so it already done that for me. Okay, it's a bad habit of mine to stop recording, but I constantly forget to restart recording when I stop it. But what I just done is explain that we have this video ready. So I pasted that in like you've seen with the previous example. And this time I prompted it over here without a style with this prompt just to see what it looks like without a style. And now I'm adding this image as a style. So I'm going to say video one is a video of a ball running down a hill, avoiding obstacles and jumping over gaps. Change the style of the video to match the style of at image one. But use all of the motion from, and then we'll do at video one. And we're also just going to send that off. Okay, as you can see, we have our new animation here and it followed the style reference a bit too literally because this is exactly what we had in the style reference, which is this image of the ball, but it kept everything else relatively similar. The trees are still the same shape and it didn't kind of restyle the rest of the video. It did make the background black, kind of like in the style, but it's not necessarily what I imagined. So what I'm going to try to do is just go into edit video, go into prompt, and I'm going to describe, change the style of the rest of the scene, not the ball, to be more of a neon city feel. So while I was generating, I was thinking, why did this not follow this style? But I guess it's because it only changed the ball because that's what I assumed. I only gave it a ball. So what I'm trying to say is I'm going to overly focus on the first frame now, because in the first frame, it's going to be able to see the exact style that we want for the trees, for the car, for the floor, for everything. So once it does see that, it's going to be easier to continue with the same style. And so even though it slightly changed the floor and, you know, added some random LEDs over there, it still did a pretty bad job in restyling the general video. Okay, so my theory was very correct because I did add this image as a starting image, which as you can see has the exact kind of style I was hoping for, more like a futuristic glass kind of neon style, I guess. And here we can see that it went ahead and used that style for the rest of the video. So I guess the first frame is super important even when creating the Blender animation because, for example, the llamas and the cars do not have this same kind of style because they weren't included in the reference image. So maybe another solution is just to provide more images, I guess. Like we can probably do multiple reference images. Here we have another example, by the way. This one's not my favorite, but this just shows you that it doesn't really matter what you want to do. It's all about the style, all about the image and the Blender MCP, which we have connected. So the possibilities are really kind of endless with this. I'm going to be experimenting with this a lot over the next few weeks. So expect more videos like this in the future. Again, if you do want to see that, just make sure to subscribe down below. And if you want to see how I created this animation entirely with Blender on screen, where I basically dive way deeper into actually using the Blender MCP, how to set it up, how to add animations, all that kind of stuff. If you want to see that, it's going to be up on screen somewhere here. So I'll see you there.